What's going on, everybody, and welcome back for week 10 of Hit the Books podcast, covering the NFL season, the NHL season, NBA, and so on. Let's introduce everyone, starting with Tyler Huffnagel. Go ahead and say hi, Ty.
Oh, what's going on, everyone? Excited to get back. Week 10, 10 episodes under the belt. Team card looking good. Me personally, tough weekend. Still above 500 on the record. Down $6 on the year. Responsible gambling is key here. So we're gonna stay strong. Looking going in week 10. See what we can do here.
And on the other side, we got Mackie.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, we're 10 weeks in now. We're starting to get into a win streak on the team card. See what we can do this week.
Love it, love it. Can't wait to see what happens here. 10 episodes under our belt, like Huff said. I'm excited to keep it going. All right, let's jump into our first game. The Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins on Thursday. We have the Ravens favored at -7.5, the money line at -390, and the over/under at 46.5. So the Ravens have yet to cover the spread in back-to-back weeks this year, showing that last week not covering. But they are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games when playing Miami.
You say 5-0?
Correct.
Yeah. I'll start here. Is Tua still out? Do we know? Is that official? He was out last week.
He is out. He got hurt again last week.
I assume coming right to a Thursday game, he's not going to play.
They're not going to rush him back. I mean, they're 2-7.
Yeah, there's no reason to. They're not really playing for much this year at this point. That being said, I like the Ravens here. Like, just 7.5 is always a tough number. Primetime game. Dolphins. I don't know. It's a tough game, tough spread. I'd probably like the Ravens more in this spread in this game, but I don't know. I don't have much confidence in that spread here in a primetime game.
Yeah, primetime game, the home team, 7.5-point underdogs. They're really, it's not really anything to bet on. It'd be pretty dramatic if Baltimore lost this game, but I wouldn't bet on either spread.
Yeah, I'm not really loving the spread either way. Something I do like in the over-under sitting at 46.5. I do like this game to go over 46.5. I think the Ravens they've shown they can score about 30 points a game. They keep that on track. Dolphins, if they can score anywhere around 17, this over is going to hit. So, if anything, I'm liking the over here, but this is looking like we're getting back to the boring Thursday night games where we can have kind of one dominant team and one inferior team. We got spoiled with the Packers and the Cardinals the other week, but I don't know. If you like the spread here, I like Ravens and maybe the over, but I like the over a lot more than either spread.
Yeah, I feel like every primetime game the over hits.
They've just been a lot of points, yeah.
So the over-under on that Bears-Steelers game last night was 40, I think. I had it at 40.
It closed at 39.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah, and like they had 24 points going into the fourth quarter, and then they put up 30 points in the fourth quarter. I was like, are you serious?
The Steeler games are just notorious for going low scoring. Like when I said, I think my score prediction for that game was like 20-10, Steelers win.
Yeah, and then blew up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we're not a second half team this year. And like what I was talking about today to one of my buddies is last year it was the complete other way around. The Steelers would come out in the first half. It would be 10-0 before the Steelers could even blink, playoff game aside. And then in the second quarter, we would leave it all up to Ben, and somehow we were coming back into games, barely winning games. We were 11-0, and then that's when shit started to hit the fan in the later half of the season when it comes down to like decision making, and you can't come out to every game in the first half and lose. And right now the Steelers are doing the exact opposite. They're coming out in games. They're dominating the first half. They're using the run game to their ability. They say this offensive line is supposed to be inferior. I mean, Najee Harris looked good yesterday again. I liked him on the first touchdown, didn't take it, but that's for another day. I think going into the future, I think if they can put together complete games, they'll get more respect. But this year they've just been kind of blowing second half leads, and it's kind of showing on like what you said with a lot of points in the second half.
Yeah, they get slept on a lot, but for good reasons. I mean, they can't play a full 60-minute game.
Yeah, it's like last year it was the first half. This year it's the second half. It's like, come on, just put together 60 minutes and have a good team. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. We have the Colts favored at minus 10.5 again. Money line at minus 480 and the over-under at 47.5. The total has gone under in 6 out of Jacksonville's last 7 games. Indianapolis is 7-1 straight up in its last 8 games when playing at home against Jacksonville.
I like the Colts here. 10.5 is a tough number because I don't know why the Colts keep getting 10.5 point spreads. It's looking like it's going closer to 10. I just don't have too much confidence given Jaguars points right now. Like they beat Buffalo last week at home. Like Mackie said, that's a big game. Buffalo is obviously a top tier team in the AFC, if not the top tier team in the AFC. I just think they won that game. What, 9-6? Did they score a touchdown or was it all field goals? The whole
No
game?
touchdowns in that game.
Like, come on, you're not. That's not going to last going into. I mean, the Colts aren't the best team in the league, but they've shown that they can win games, and I think the Jaguars go back to their ways of. Let's just say I don't think they win 2 in a row. Let alone I don't think they cover this game.
Here's the thing about that game last week is that I don't think Jacksonville beat Buffalo. I think Buffalo beat themselves.
Yeah, that was
And
Jacksonville's Super
and
Bowl.
in every single aspect of that game. I mean, Jacksonville didn't even really play that well. It wasn't even like they were making big plays and like getting to the quarterback, and they were just. It was just a normal game that Buffalo was just consistently messing up.
Yeah,
So when you can, I mean, even against the worst team in the league, they're still NFL players. Like it's still any team can beat anybody.
exactly.
When you can't figure it out for 60 minutes straight, you're not going to win an NFL football game. I don't see that happening again this week. I definitely don't think they're going to pull off this upset, but I don't know. You're giving Colts 10 points, or you're giving Jacksonville 10 points against the Colts. Colts aren't a good enough team to bet a 10-point spread on.
Indianapolis is 5-1 against the spread in its last 6 games. Does that make you think a little bit?
It's big spread still. When it drops a little bit, I
10
could look
points,
at this.
no. They escaped one with the Jets last week, but Mike White got hurt, so I think that's the only reason that they covered.
I think you're right, honestly. Bad beat on the Jets there. Alrighty, in this next game, I like the Cleveland Browns at the New England Patriots. We have the Patriots favored at minus 1.5, the money line at minus 124, and the over-under at 45.5. The money line for the Browns sitting at plus 106. Cleveland is 5-1 against the spread in its last 6 games on the road, and the total has gone over in 4 out of Cleveland's last 6 games.
This is going to be one of the best games of the week, probably the best game of the week. I definitely like that over, but I mean, the Patriots are rolling right now. Mac Jones is getting a groove. They're on a 4-game winning streak, right a half game behind Buffalo for the AFC East. There's really nothing standing in the way right now. I mean, Bill Belichick, obviously one of the best coaches in NFL history, to find ways to win. Browns are rolling. You know, they have a lot of distractions with OBJ, but put up 45 points last week, something like that. Offense looks good. I don't know. It's going to be a really good game. I think the Browns come out on top in a nail biter, but I don't know. It can go either way.
I agree with you there, Mackie. I think money line's the answer here. And I think the over, that 45.5, looks intriguing.
Yeah, I think it could be a real shootout.
Nick Chubb out with COVID. Tight spread, like you guys said, basically a pick 'em at this point, but you can get the Browns at some plus money. I just think the Browns going into Foxborough. It's a Sunday 1:00 game. It's just a tough game. Like you said, this can be a really good game. I like the over more than anything here. I was thinking that before you even said that. That 45.5 is too low. I was thinking this should be like, why are the Colts and Jaguars at 47.5? and it's -110, but the Browns and Patriots are at 45.5 with -106 is the over.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense.
So yeah, give me the Browns, Patriots over 45.5, and I'm with Mackie. I'll go Browns here. I just think the rookie quarterback kind of he's looking good, but these are kind of games like it's a tough game, tough defense in Cleveland. You're at home. You're supposed to win this game. Let's see what you can do here. I
agree.
like the Browns though. I like the Browns. I think they win. They look good since they got rid of the distractions in OBJ. I said they thought they would end up releasing him if they couldn't get a trade done. It looks like it's working out for them as they look good last week in a divisional win against Cincinnati. They proved me wrong. I had Cincinnati -2.5. But I think the Browns get things back on track last week and this week. So this could be a big game for the Browns on the road here to keep things tight in the division as they find themselves in last place in the division. Actually, I don't know about after they just beat Cincinnati. They were in last. This division's so tight.
Bengals are last.
Bengals are last because the Browns just beat them.
Correct. Alrighty, and moving forward, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Dallas Cowboys. We have the Cowboys favored at -9, the money line at -430, and the over-under at 55. The total has gone over in 7 out of Atlanta's last 8 games when playing on the road against Dallas. Dallas is 7-1 against the spread in its last 8 games, performing exceptionally well this year. And the total has gone over in 4 out of Atlanta's last 5 games on the road. But that 55 is extremely high, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a real high over under. Two teams that can definitely score the ball. Dallas coming off a really bad week against the Broncos, tough loss. 10-point favorites ended up losing out right by 14. They couldn't even score the ball for 3 quarters.
They looked so bad.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But I mean, just an off week. I think they bounce back this week. High spread. I don't really know. I wouldn't take the what was it, 9 points?
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the 9 points, but I definitely think they win this football game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that take. I don't like the 9. I think they do get back on track. If you're leaning a spread here, I think Cowboys win this game by 10.
It's a tough one. Like you guys keep saying, 9, that's 10.5. These high spreads going into November, later than the season.
Halfway through the year.
It's crazy. I mean,
Well, I mean, if you're leaning a spread, I'm not taking the Falcons +9 going to Dallas, but like Mackie said, I think Cowboys win this game. Throw that 430 in a parlay. Let that 430 come up. I think it has value
absolutely, yeah.
because it's gonna hit. Losing 2 in a row to the Broncos and then the Falcons both at home. No way.
Yeah, no shot.
Alrighty, and moving forward, we have the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. We have the Bills favored at -13.5, money line at -750, and the over/under at 47.5. Buffalo is 13-4 straight up in its last 17 games. The total has gone over in 5 out of the Jets' last 5 games, and the Jets are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games at home.
Home dog of over 10 points. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Jets +12.5. Lock it in. Last week it was Jacksonville +14.5. Yeah, roll the clip. I do not. I actually like Jacksonville +14. Just because in betting there's a rule, and if you have a home dog of over 10 points, you never bet against it. And even though Jacksonville's obviously awful this year and Buffalo's proved they're a top team in the league, you can't go against a home dog of 14 or 10 plus points, and it's at 14. So
Got to listen to Mackie on that one.
I'm gonna roll with it again. Give me Jets +12.5.
It's 13.5 on FanDuel.
13.5.
Roll with it. I like it. Jets didn't
Did they get their guy back and Mike White?
Oh wait, that actually is a deal breaker.
Mike White is questionable, likely to make a third straight start.
All right, well, Jets plus or Jets spread pending.
This is either Jets cover this game, lose by 10, or it's 42-3 Bills. Divisional game, I could either just see the Bills roll them or it's going to be a 10-point game.
Oh,
Like a close game, Jets cover. I don't just see the Bills cover by 14, cover by 17. It's either literally going to be 20 or more or Jets cover.
I agree.
I just think Bills coming off a loss. It's tough to bet against them, even though they are on the road. The fact that it's Buffalo at New York, it's not too much of a travel divisional game. They play these teams a lot, so I don't know. I don't think I'll be touching this game. Tough game, but I see what you're saying with the home dog thing. It's just the Jets divisional matchup. I like giving the underdog the points in divisional matchups, especially at home. I just think Bills coming off a loss. I think they get things back on track, but I'm leaning towards what I said with maybe Jets cover this game, but just Bills win.
Yeah, Mackie, I really like what you were saying. Jets spread pending.
Pending Mike White.
Alrighty, and next we have the New Orleans Saints at the Tennessee Titans. We have the Titans favored at -3, the money line at -146, and the over/under at 44.5. New Orleans is 16-3 straight up in its last 19 games on the road, playing exceptionally well on the road. And Tennessee is 5-0 against the spread and straight up in its last 5 games. Do you like the Saints at +124 on the money line, or give them the 3 points?
I actually like the Titans here. I think they've definitely proved themselves as one of the top teams in the league, coming off a 18-point win without Derrick Henry. They're playing a team who's, I don't know, Saints have been back and forth this year. They're not very consistent. You can't really read them very well, but Titans at home in a 1:00 game. Give me Titans -3 here.
It's looking like it's leaning towards maybe 2.5. So I'll go. Yeah, give me Titans with the points here.
Going against the trends there, I like to see it.
Tough. It's tough.
Titans are also 5-0 in their last 5 games.
Titans are rolling right now.
You're right. You're very right. Tennessee is doing exceptionally well in the last few games. I don't know. More and more that you guys are talking about it, I kind of starting to like maybe Titans money line. 146. There's not a ton of value there, but we'll see what happens. Moving forward, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Washington Football Team. We have the Buccaneers favored at -9.5, the money line at -450, and the over/under at 51.5. Tampa Bay is 14-2 straight up in its last 16 games, and 10-2 straight up in its last 12 games on the road.
I like the Buccaneers here -9.5 a lot. I just think the fact that 1:00 game against the Washington Football Team, a team that's not known to be covering this season, overrated defense so far all year. They have not come to play. I like Tampa Bay here a lot, -9.5. The over/under tough number, 51.5. I think this game goes under. I think that's too high, but I definitely think Tampa Bay covers.
Yeah, Washington just sucks. I mean, 4-game losing streak. They haven't put up over 20 points in 4 weeks. Just shithole of a team. They're not double digit home dogs, so the rule doesn't apply. So yeah, give me Tampa Bay -9.5.
Yeah, Huff, you read my mind. 9.5 sounds good, but the over/under is way too high. I would take the under there, but I don't think I'd put my money there. Detroit Lions at the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got the Steelers favored at -8.5, the money line at -390, and the over/under at 43. Pittsburgh is 5-0 straight up in its last 5 games when playing Detroit. And they're also 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games when playing at home against Detroit. The under is hit in 5 out of the last 8 games for the Steelers, and the under is hit 5 out of the last 6 games for the Lions. But with an over-under of 43, it's a tough one to call.
Pittsburgh does not cover spreads as favorites. They only cover spreads when they only win games when they're underdogs, honestly.
Steelers don't cover big spreads. Lions have been covering spreads, not the past couple weeks. I think a lot of the people are going to be taking the Lions here, plus 8.5, because of that reason. Like what you just said, I just think a lot of the people are leaning towards Lions, giving them 8 points. I actually like the Steelers here with the points. I think this is a game where Steelers are rolling right now. I mean, they're not winning games by a lot of points, like we're not covering right now, but I don't know if I'll be taking this, but I just don't like betting on the Lions, giving them points. I know they've covered. Every time I bet on them, they don't cover, so I can't even say that. So
I think the Steelers are due for a big win.
Yeah, I mean, I if I was to bet this, I would take Detroit probably with the points just because it's a high spread, but I definitely wouldn't put my money here.
yeah, I just have confidence. I think Steelers can win this game, maybe 13 by 13 or 10, but it's easier said than done. 8.5 is a tough number. I could like Chicago last night, garbage time touchdown to makes a 6.5 point spread dead. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Alrighty, in the next game, starting with our first 4:00 game, we have the Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Chargers. We have the Chargers favored at -2.5, the money line at -152, and the over/under at 52.5. Minnesota is 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 games when playing the Chargers. And the Chargers are 9-3 against the spread and straight up in their last 12 games.
I love the Chargers here. I mean, coming off a road win in Philadelphia, Justin Herbert game-winning drive, back and forth game. They're 2.5 point favorites at home here against a struggling Vikings team. I love it. This could be a max play for me.
I like Chargers here. They've been covering spreads. They've been known to be a team to cover the spreads. Just at home against Minnesota. Minnesota's kind of been a hit or miss team every time. Lately, when I bet against them last week, they cover. It was a bigger spread with 6. I just think Chargers can cover this by a field goal.
Yeah, 2.5 is a nice number to play with. I think they got it. -2.5. If we all like it, it might be on the team card there. We'll see. In the next 4:00 game is the Carolina Panthers at the Arizona Cardinals. We got the Cardinals favored at an even -10, the money line at -480, and the over/under at 44.5. Carolina is 5-0 against the spread and straight up in its last 5 games when playing Arizona. Arizona is 8-1 straight up in its last 9 games and 6-1 against the spread in its last 7. So both teams, Arizona playing well as of lately. Carolina playing well against Arizona.
Sam Darnold is also out, so it will be what I forget his
PJ
name.
Walker.
PJ Walker, yeah. He is starting.
Cardinals -10.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Panthers are just falling apart. And, Arizona is probably one of the best teams in the
I
league.
just think Kyler Murray coming back healthy. If he's good this week, ready to go. I think
Win this
he clearly is good and ready to go because they have a 10-point spread at home. So,
Yeah, they can win this game by 40.
Yep.
He's listed as questionable, but he's probably
gonna
going to play.
He's going to play. I think Colt McCoy can cover this 10-point spread.
I'm not as confident, but
Well, yeah, obviously. I wouldn't bet on it, but
yeah, it'll drop if he's the for sure starter. It'll go to like 6.5.
No luck for the Panthers this year. They didn't treat us very well there in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, fuck the Panthers.
Yeah, fuck the Panthers. There are Falcons.
The Panthers are our Falcons.
Yeah.
That whole division sucks, dude. Except the Buccaneers.
Alrighty. Moving forward, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Green Bay Packers. We got the Packers favored at -3.5. The money line at -180 and the over/under at 50. Seattle is 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 games, and Green Bay is 5-0 against the spread in its last 5 games.
Russ is back. What does that mean though? Against Green Bay in Green Bay.
Rodgers isn't allowed back in the building until Saturday. Like they're acting like he's gonna play in this game.
He is playing.
I mean I like the Seahawks here, giving them the points. I think Packers could win this game by field goal, but I think the 3.5 I like.
I could see it. And Aaron Rodgers not practicing all week, coming into a game if he's playing.
Aaron Rodgers already knows that offense at the back of his hand. He doesn't need to practice.
I like Seahawks plus 3.5 here. I think Russ coming off if he's ready to go. I mean they're at the point of the season where they're not playing for much either. Their record slipped whenever he went down. So I think if he's ready to go, I think I like giving them the 3 points here.
Yeah, well, if it looks like it's about to go down to 3, so if it goes down to 3, I really like it.
I like the 3.5 with Seahawks.
Alrighty, next we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Denver Broncos. We have the Broncos favored at -3. The money line at -158 and the over/under at 44. Denver is 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 games against Philadelphia.
I don't know. Philadelphia's a weird team because
Yeah,
they looked good last week. I mean, they held their own with the Chargers. They just don't have a good record. I don't know. Broncos aren't very good either, so I don't know. It's a weird game, but maybe the Eagles win this one.
In Denver,
I like Eagles here. I give them the points, but I think they win this game outright. But take the points just to be safe.
Yeah, I agree.
Not much else to be said about that game. Yeah, it's kind of a boring game, but I think Philly wins. I think Jalen Hurts has the ability to go into Denver and kind of get the Eagles a win. Like you said, they just don't have a good record. They've shown they can score. They have a kind of a fun offense to watch. Like when they are clicking, like that's a decent. It's not a bad team to be watching. They're not winning games. I like giving them the 3 points here, but I think they win the game outright actually. So the 134 money line's tempting, but I'll give them the points.
fair statement there. And that's going to segue us into our next game, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders. Our Sunday
night.
Yep, Sunday primetime game. Close one with the Chiefs favored at -2.5. The money line at -142 and the over/under at 51.5. The Chiefs are 6-1 straight up in their last 7 games when playing Vegas.
Tough game here. The trend is pointing towards the Raiders at home. Chiefs haven't been covering. Give me Raiders +2.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like you cannot read this Chiefs team. I mean, they're still just as good. It's just they're not performing.
If this goes
So
to 3, I love the Raiders.
yeah, well, I just can't bring myself to bet against this Chiefs team, but I'm definitely not going to bet on them. Give me the under.
Under 51.5. I kind of like that.
It is really high for no reason. Both these defenses kind of suck.
It's a primetime game. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
And not much to be said. Divisional matchup. my rule with divisional matchups, I usually like giving the points and taking them. But tough game. Underdog, Sunday night, home dog. Take the Raiders.
Yeah, it'll be a close one.
I like 3 a lot more than 2.5 because 2.5 is like a pointless spread. I mean, last night, of course,
Yeah.
last night the Steelers win by 2, and I just say that, but I'd rather 3, obviously.
You'd rather a full possession.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And that's our Sunday primetime game. And let's move into our Monday primetime game, the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers, a California matchup with the Rams favored at -3.5, the money line at -198, and the over-under at 48.5.
I love this line. Like, I love the Rams here.
I thought you were about to
I
say
think the
49ers.
No. I think the 49ers are the most overrated team in the NFL. Rams coming off of embarrassing loss in prime time. You know, they gotta show the NFL that they're actually like still one of the top teams in the league. 3.5 point spread, divisional game. I don't know. I could just see them stomping all over 49ers here.
Yeah, I like Rams -3.5 here. I think everything gets back on track, like you said, after a disappointing loss on Sunday night to the
Yeah, definitely.
Derrick Henry-less Titans. I think Matt Stafford, everything gets back on track. I think I could see an absolute slaughtering on Monday Night Football. No one even watching this game after the third quarter, unless someone has, you know what I mean, money on the game. But it's gonna be an absolute routing by the Rams of the 49ers.
You guys said it all. I can't agree more. 3.5 sounds good to me.
Alrighty, so now we're at the section of the podcast where we give out the picks, what everyone comes for. Team cards have been hot lately. You're riding it, 2-0 last week. I looked rough last week, but looking to bounce back this week. Team card, we're looking at Browns money line plus 106 in Foxborough. We got Chargers -2.5, a double unit -118. And then we got over 45.5 in Browns Patriots. I think there's a lot of value in those 3 picks for the team card. Let's hope we can stay hot this week. For myself, I have the Bucks -9.5 against Washington, the Titans -2.5, and the Eagles +3 in Denver. And then I have a little parlay money line 3-leg. I like the Colts, Cowboys, and Rams all to win outright at +124.
Those sound pretty good, huh? All right, I went a little heavy this week. I got the Titans -3. I got that for a double unit play. Then I got the Jets +13.5. I got the Packers -3.5. I have the Rams -3.5, and then I have the Eagles +3.
Very good plays this week, boys. I'm looking forward to a solid week. For myself, I have the Bucks -9.5 and the Rams -3.5. I'm excited for this week. No over-under for myself specifically. That one in the team card I'm very interested and excited about. Let's have a good week this week, boys.
Yeah, and as always, I might have a couple plays coming last minute, couple anytime touchdowns. It's tough to get those odds out right now. Just stay tuned to the Instagram. Give us a follow on Instagram. Hit the books.pod. Stay tuned for the picks. Let's make money this weekend. Let's get back to it.
Let's go, boys.
Let's get it.
All right, and as we get later into the football season, that means other sports are going to be, starting up as we experience that with the NBA and NHL getting back. We got another one coming back that I'm a big fan of, college basketball. A lot of action today. We're recording on a Tuesday evening. A lot of big games tonight. There was Michigan State in action. A lot of the big names, Kansas, Duke. We're going to talk some of the favorites to win this thing outright in the end of March. It's a big future bet, but we got the odds, so we're going to talk it. We got Gonzaga sitting at the favorite, the obvious favorite, the number 1 seed in the country, sitting at +650. A surprise to me is you got UCLA, the number 2 team currently in the nation, sitting at +1,500. I know it's not kind of like football where the preseason rankings kind of come into play in March, but I think UCLA is going to be a team to keep an eye on. I like their odds at +1,500. But second place we got Michigan 1,200, Texas 1,200, Kansas 13, Purdue 13, Villanova 14, and Duke and UCLA are 1,500.
I mean, yeah, I'd say UCLA proved last year that they can pretty much hang with anybody.
And that team's all back.
I like Texas this year. They have a good team this year. I definitely like them winning the Big 12. I think their odds are like plus 250. But, college basketball can go either way. You never know like what team's going to come out. West Virginia lost today to Oakland, 17-point favorites.
Yeah.
Not a good start to our season, but,
Texas plus 220 to win the Big 12. West Virginia plus 1,400.
Yeah, no, fade that. West Virginia's not going to have a good year.
Yeah, but that being said, I just think UCLA getting their whole team back. They got Ju Zhang. They got that young power forward that was really good last year in the tournament. I think UCLA is going to be good.
Definitely, yeah. It's going to be could be a rematch in the national championship game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I had UCLA in that game, and then Jalen Suggs hit that. That was ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Jalen Suggs is the dog.
It was a crazy shot. But yeah, we can talk some conference winners. I didn't really think they would have the odds out for that yet, but we'll talk power.
Yeah,
We'll talk Power 5 just to keep it. You know what I mean? Relatable. I don't care who's going to win the Atlantic 10.
A10.
So
All right, roll it.
ACC, we got Duke 230, Florida State 400, North Carolina 500, Virginia 650, Virginia Tech 1,000, Louisville 1,000. Round out the top.
Yeah, Duke at what, 225?
230. Same basically.
Yeah, come on. I mean, Duke's got that team again this year. Mike Krzyzewski's last season. You can't tell me Duke's not going to end up winning the ACC and making a push towards the national championship this year.
Yeah, and Florida State, they're looking good this year. They look like they've put together a good team. They've been on the come up the past couple seasons. It's not going to be easy for Duke. It's not going to be easy for Duke, but like you said, I'm not betting against Krzyzewski in his last season.
Yeah, it's one thing you definitely don't do.
We'll roll right into Big Ten. It's not too Big Ten basketball isn't my favorite, but it tends to be good with Michigan State.
Michigan, yeah.
So Purdue's good this year. They're ranked like I think 4th or 6th. They're top 10. Purdue's actually the favorite to win the Big Ten at plus 260, with Michigan at 270 right behind them. Ohio State 480, Illinois 700, Michigan State plus 1,000.
Ohio State proved today that they're not real contenders at all. Michigan's always got a good team. They're always going to have a good team. They prove everybody wrong every year. Yeah, that's all I really know about.
It's the kind of situation where I feel comfortable putting money on Michigan to win the regular season winner of the Big Ten because they're not going to win the tournament. So I feel a lot more confident betting them just to win the Big Ten, beat Purdue, maybe in a big game late. I think there's a lot of value in Michigan plus 270. Big 12, we kind of already talked about. Kansas, clear favorite at plus 175. Texas kind of right behind them actually at 220. Baylor 440, Texas Tech 850, West Virginia 1,400.
Yeah, Baylor lost a lot to the NBA last year. They lost Davion Mitchell on the Warriors now, I think.
Kings.
Is he? Oh, he is on the Kings. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that team kind of fell apart. So Texas, a lot of returners. Obviously, Kansas showed tonight that they one of the top teams in the country. It's going to be a good battle for the Big 12.
Yeah, I've always been, since I was little, I always liked Kansas back when they had the Morris twins, the two, you know who I'm talking about, Markeith and or Marcus, whatever their names are. I loved them when they were.
Yeah, Markeith and Marcus.
Yeah, back then when they were at Kansas, I was always a big Kansas fan. So going to West Virginia, that kind of faded with the Big 12 rivalry in the in the basketball side, not so much in football with Kansas sucking in football.
West Virginia had some good basketball years while you were here.
Yeah, for sure. So you're making a good point with Texas. They do have a lot of returning guys. They're an older team.
They got Andrew Jones. That guy is a beast.
Yeah, he was a dog in the tournament last year.
He's a beast.
It's tough to go against Kansas, a team that's done it before, year in and year out. They're ranked third right now, and like you said, they've shown they're a good team. So I don't know. I think I like Kansas, but Texas, like you said, it's not going to be easy for them.
Yeah, maybe if Texas is over towards like plus 500, 450, throw
A
some value on it.
Texas, yeah.
You got a front runner, and then you're only at plus 250 or whatever it is. I don't know. I
That plus,
wouldn't throw money on it.
that
I
plus
do like it though.
45 drop off or whatever it is just like
Yeah,
it should be
big
more.
time.
It should be like another 100.
Uh-huh.
But we'll keep rolling here. Pac-12, clear favorite UCLA
We got out there, or UCLA, Oregon.
plus 300, Oregon, Arizona 600, USC 750, and Colorado and Washington. Colorado 1600. Washington State
Yeah.
3200.
Those are just
There to be there.
donations. Donations if you're gonna make those bets.
Yeah, from alumni.
But yeah, I mean UCLA is clear favorite. I don't see them losing, but Oregon can give them a little run for their money. I don't see them winning it, but I see
Oregon's
them.
known to shake things up in college basketball.
Yeah, definitely. They had Peyton Pritchard a few years back. He was a dog at Oregon.
Yeah. I like obviously UCLA. Like I said, if they're my team to win the national championship, I like them to win their respective division. Looking at
Conference, yeah.
you know what I meant. Looking at SEC, Kansas 350, Bama 450. I like Bama. 450, Tennessee at 500, Arkansas 700, Auburn 800, LSU 1,000. I like Alabama here.
I absolutely love SEC basketball now. The amount of that the SEC conference in basketball used to be awful. It has grown tremendously over the past like 5-6 years.
With the growth of
Arkansas,
Tennessee,
LSU, Alabama, all those teams, they were never basketball schools.
yeah, Tennessee, yeah.
They've all been
Tennessee
Arkansas
has been.
3 seed in the tournament last year, Alabama 2 seed in the tournament last year. Like these teams were never powerhouses, and it's cool. I like how these teams are showing up now and making good names for themselves.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm also a Kentucky fan. It's tough to be, all these big name college basketball fans, but I root for Kentucky too. So I think Alabama has a good team this year. I think it's gonna be tough for Calipari and the Wildcats down in Kentucky to win this thing. So Alabama at 450. Kind of what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Like when you have a clear favorite, if the second team's more than like plus 100 away, I like their value. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, SEC is definitely a toss up. I like that pick, Alabama. I really like their team this year. I don't know. I don't really have a pick for this. I just think I'm excited to watch it go down.
Yeah. And then that's it for Power 5. The last one that I'm looking at is the WCCC or whatever it is, WCC.
West Coast Conference.
Yeah,
Gonzaga
minus
3,000.
Westmoreland County Community College.
Westmoreland County Community College.
Yeah, they play Pepperdine and fucking.
I like
Mount St. Mary's.
I think
Pacific Coast Academy.
I think there's value in San Diego
Pacific
at
Coast
plus
Academy.
50,000.
Yeah, I don't really think so, Huff.
Pacific? You don't like Pacific's odds this year?
No. What is it?
Plus 50,000.
Yeah, I could throw a little.
Literally the whole
$5
division's 50,000. Except Gonzaga.
It's just so dumb. Like, put them in a Power 5 conference.
They need to be like Notre Dame.
Why would they not be in the Pac-12? I don't understand.
So stupid.
Why do you guys want to be 40-point favorites for 20 games and then end up losing the national championship anyway? Like, play good teams throughout the whole year, and then maybe you'll win a national championship.
Is Gonzaga a big school? Not that I expect it to be, but like
I couldn't tell. I honestly couldn't even tell you. I assume so. I assume they got at least like 15, 20,000 kids.
Yeah.
I would not know what that school was if it wasn't for college basketball. I can promise you that.
Yeah, me neither. They don't even have a football team.
Yeah, because you're in the West Coast Conference. Like, what? Is that a made-up conference? I literally could have just made that up. I bet you half the people didn't even know that was a thing.
You can get Gonzaga plus 115 to make the Final Four.
Yeah, well, yeah, but dude, that's so scary.
I was looking at those. None of those are like too impressive.
Yeah, they're not going to give you any great value on those.
Yeah. Like even you take like where's Bama? Say you take like Bama, make a run, 420.
Yeah, but teams like that always choke, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's an underdog. I'm saying they should be way higher than 420.
Yeah. See, they never give you good value on those.
Michigan State 650. Come on, not even ranked right now.
Yeah, because you think they're gonna fucking make a run, like
You know what I mean? Like
650, really?
650. That's it. These odds are crazy.
They don't want you stealing it.
That's for sure.
All right, that's going to do it for us here this week. Week 10, 10th episode. We're looking good. You guys got anything good to say?
Yeah, boys, just check back in, see how we do. If you want to tail us. Bait us, I guess. Can't tell you not to, but let's ride.
Let's do it. Let's get back to I'm looking to get back on the winning side of things. Week 10, 10 episodes under the book. Thanks everyone listening. Give us a follow on Instagram. It goes a long way for us. Like our pictures. Do what you got to do. Show your support. We're doing what we can, giving you the winners we got. Show your support back for us. Let's get back on the winning side and keep going here. Team card looking good. Let's go. Week 10.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, everyone, and take care. See you next week.
Let's go, boys.
And that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Hit the Books Podcast. Be sure to check us out on our various social media platforms. Instagram at hitthebooks.pod, Twitter at hitthebooks_pod, website at hitthebookspod.com for all the latest on Hit the Books. And be sure to always study hard.
Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.